is a book review of Timeframe Doctor Who. This is the 30th anniversary, the illustrated history. Now, this is by David J. Howe, and it's the earlier Doctor Who's. It's not like David Tennant and Matt Smith, etc., brilliant as they are. This is ones that I sort of thought of as my Doctors, the John Pertwees and Patrick Troughton, etc. And what's this got? Well, it's slightly confusing because it's an illustrated history, and you think, oh, right, it's going to be all like the comics and things, which I must admit, when I bought it in a second-hand store, but it was relatively cheap. But when I got home and looked at it again, I thought, oh, there's not really much showing the comics. We've got bits of the annuals, but not as much comic as I would have loved to have seen, because of course there were some brilliant comics, especially like TV comic. You had and I would love to see those reprinted, all those sort of that period. I'm surprised that no one has brought out a volume of the Doctor Who's, Patrick Troughton period, John Pertwee, all the looking, those sort of things, TV action it was in. Yeah, maybe they will. Maybe some enterprising soul will bring those out. I'd love to see those. And the Daleks one as well, because I think they did bring out some books, those. So you've got some lovely, but you have got the Target books and all the sort of book covers. I love those Target books. That was, for me, in the 70s, I read through all those constantly. I love them. And all these lovely Radio Times. I had loads of old copies of Radio Times. I regret I got rid of most of them. Over the years, you just move and you get rid of things and you think, I wish I hadn't got rid of that one. But that's life. So you got some lovely, and you got a lovely one there of the Zarbi. It was an unusual episode, that one, the Zarbi one. Web Planet. That's also got a picture of the annual, the Doctor Who annual. I love those Doctor Who annuals, the William Hartnell ones. Also, you got the original book. I had one of those. David Whittaker. Armada paperbacks, boys and girls. Brilliant book. And Doctor Who annual again. Also, The Curse of the Daleks, the Wyndham Theatre. That must have been amazing. Go along and see that. Invasion Earth, the film. And you got then into Patrick Troughton. So you've got the first. Recently, I've been enjoying the animated ones. So you've got here the Power of the Daleks. You've got the Power of the Daleks, the Radio Times. But they brought out the DVD, and they're just absolutely brilliant. I didn't think, oh, I'm going to like the animations, but they've been just superb. I love obviously because you've got the original soundtrack. It's not like you've got someone faking up the soundtrack. You've got the original soundtrack, but you just got the animation. It's just great. And to be honest, sometimes probably better than the original. It's a lot sharper because it's animated, even though it's moves in a bit of an odd way at times. But I just love them. Absolutely. Loads of, recently I got the Faceless ones. Now, I remember the Faceless ones. I did not like that episode. When it came out, I thought, oh, awful. Watch the animated. I loved it in animation. It was better in the animation than the original series. And likewise, Fury from the Deep, which was one of the most, actually recently I watched that, and that was pretty good. The animated, I thought, wow. I don't think it would have been half as good in the original. Though obviously when I was younger, it was scary. I was like, ooh, sort of thing. And but this has got Doctor Who annual. I love those ones. I had all the Doctor Who annuals. Wendy Padbury there. And you've also got these lovely, and more jacket. This one's The Seeds of Death. That was a bit, what's the name of that one? It was okay. But then you got into the 70s, and you got obviously change. You got all the various change of the title sequence. Tom Baker, of course. You got Who. You got John Pertwee on the cover of the Radio Times. You got again. It's a bit odd. It's illustrated. It says illustrated. It's a photo. Oh, anyway, obviously different definitions of that sort of thing. I love that one. Ambassadors of Death. That was great. You had the Doctor Who annuals then, also with John Pertwee. That was pretty good. Claws of Axos. Terence Dicks one. Of course, Katie Manning, you got that one. That was great. The Demons one. Obviously, the Master was there, and you got more, obviously, the Peladon stories. Who is the Doctor? Then you got the Mutants one here by Terence Dicks. See, it was changing its point. You got the annual. I had all these annuals, and I love. It's great to see. And also, there you got the brilliant there, Space War by Malcolm Holt. Doctor Who annual there. And also, you still had all the lovely. It's got little bits of like buttons and things that you would have with Doctor Who, and I love that one. I had the brilliant Doctor Who magazine, 10th year of BBC's Greatest Adventure series, and you had a Radio Time special, 30 pence. Wow. Another one you've seen, never went to the exhibitions, Blackpool. Blackpool's a long way. So I never ever thought, I'm going to go to Blackpool. Now maybe elsewhere. Doctor Who, John Pertwee, Planet of Spiders, again. Then, of course, actually, weirdly, when you got there, 1975, I was sort of more associated with Tom Baker more, but you got the advert showing John Pertwee on the Celestial Toy Room. I remember that magazine. Got a lovely picture of the Celestial Toy Room. It's a fanzine magazine. Bought quite a few copies of that. And also some of the other Doctor Who fanzines as well. There were a lot of Doctor Who fanzines, very popular. Brilliant, again, lots of these brilliant ones. Doctor Who and the Stones of Blood. And this one, Mary Tam. Oh, Pirate Captain, Pirate Planet. That was an old one. Doctor Who Weekly, lovely, got a picture of Doctor Who Weekly as well. Love that one, you had free transfer. I had that issue, just great. I bought quite a lot of the early issues. Love that magazine. And then all the way through. And it's just got page after page after page of absolutely brilliant. Also, I had that one as well. It's terrible when you go through these books. It's actually the worst thing looking through some of these old books because you start thinking, 20th anniversary special. That was £1.50. It'd gone up a bit from the 30p. Who's Who? I remember that one. That was the, you had like the 5 Doctors one. Then you got, loads of other characters here. Well, that was an unusual Rani one. Anyway, you just got page after page after page after. Oh, no one there. That's stuck together for some reason. Oh, more. No, it's a fairly thin book. This book, however, I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant book. And certainly, if you're a Doctor Who fan that loves all the old magazines and books and associated things, I think this book is just an absolute gem. It's 122 pages. Total pleasure looking through this sort of book. It's just beautiful. The illustrated history, even though I must admit I might, what's his name on the title? Illustrated. It's certainly more memorabilia. Memorabilia, the illustrated memorabilia, just call it that, of the period. Time frame. Great.